$7 million made available for municipalities subvention grants, representing an increase of $12 million over what was allocated in 2013.
Point of order, please.
Yes,
Chairman, I think we've actually jumped one program here, which is 132, and gone to 133. I believe we should be addressing 132, which is Ministry Administration.
Okay, 424, 132.
132, yes, sir.
Thank you, that it was just pointed out to me. Thank you very much for that. So members, go ahead, Mr. Shaw.
Chairman, 2400100, land transport. I noticed that there's a request for some money here to purchase a vehicle. Can the minister say what type of vehicles they purchase here? And where specifically that vehicle is going to be?
Mr. Chairman, this Land Cruiser, that's the type of vehicle, is an addition to the ministry's pool of vehicles and will be used to move personnel, people, and materials around, and visit communities, etc.
I recognize Mr. Rita Lowe.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It was the correction on the,
Thank you, Mrs. Scott, sir.
1 p.m. the next program, sir. 1 to 2.
You are not there yet.
That's all.
Maybe disarm your microphone.
That's all.
They're not coming off. Sorry. Our members, I put the question that we adopt the estimates for capital expenditures program 132 for the Ministry of Local Government. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it, so these will be proceeded with. Thank you. Please turn your attention, honorable members, to pages 86 and 87 as I invite you to consider the current expenditures for the Ministry of Local Government, program 133, regional development, current expenditures. Mr. Volkan, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, line item 6111, administrative, with a proposed budgetary allocation of $19.7 million. Staff in detail says that the staffing complement is increased, but the Honorable Minister kindly give a reason for the reason why there is the increase of staff, as well as the designation and emoluments of these two new staff members.
Mr. Chairman, the two additional administrative staff are two senior regional development officers engaged at a salary of $84,565 each.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Line item 6116. I note, Mr. Chairman, that the budgetary allocations have gone up, but there's actually been a reduction in staff. Honorable Minister, here to provide an explanation. Why is this so?
Yes, indeed, Mr. Chairman, there was a reduction in staff, the resignation of a regional development officer, but the difference represents unpaid gratuity for 2013.
To follow up, please. Can the Honorable Minister provide a designation as well as the emoluments of the three highest paid officials on this line item?
These will be, Mr. Chairman, our Special Projects Officer, $297,675, followed by our Community Development Officer, $284,110, and our Principal Regional Development Officer, $167,177.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Mr. Chairman, line item 6211, for which there is a budgetary provision of almost $96 million. Could the Honorable Minister kindly provide a breakdown of some of the major components under this heading?
Yes. Captured there would be arrears of gratuity for the 7 REOs. That accounts in large measure for the difference between the revised 2013 of 92.855 million and the budget did pick up in 2014, that's 95.964. Arrears of gratuity for 7 of the REOs for 2013.
I'm not sure if the Minister, the Honorable Minister understood my question. I'm not dealing with the reason for the increase. I'm dealing with the sum in total. If you could provide a breakdown, what are the key components that brings us to this $96 million?
Good. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, these would be basic salaries, $78.2 million per annum. Gratuity, $6.5 million. Vacation allowance, $2.4 million. Travel allowance, $0.4. Duty allowance, $0.1 million. House allowance, $1.9. Station allowance, $0.4. Acting allowance, $0.6. And stipend, that's paid to mayor, deputy mayor, etc. Stipend of $1.6 million. Of course, there will also be NIS contribution. Employers, $3.6 million, total $95.963.
Follow up, please, Mr. Chair. Would the Honorable Minister be kind enough to inform members these salaries and gratuities, to whom do they refer?
The salary gratuities report to the regional executive officer, the regional chairman, the regional vice chairman. These are the officers.
Mr. Chairman, would the Minister be kind enough to provide this in a written form?
Mr. Chairman, unless you are like, advise me that I should do it. It can be provided. That's what I want to advise you now.
What I would suggest is you can have the list with the amounts, but not necessarily the names. So I would, because we don't need to know who, but certainly the positions, the designations with the salaries is good enough, but not with the names. So that will be provided tomorrow or sorry, Monday?
Yeah.
Thank you, not tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Line item 6284. The details, it says others. It's a budgetary allocation of $14.9 million. Would the Honorable Minister be kind enough to inform us what expenses constitute this honor?
Mr. Chairman, most of that allocation would have been paid to Puran Brothers Inc. for maintenance of the Lusignan site on the East Coast, and the balance for internet services provided to the ministry and maintenance of our website.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. I'm not sure whether the majority of honorable members in this House would know when you say music non site to what you actually refer, what you're actually referring to.
Mr. Chairman, I'm talking about what people have grown to know as the Lusignan dump site in the back.
Dump site.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Mr. Chairman, I refer to the total allocations under this program 133, the sum of $177.392 million. I request your indulgence, Mr. Chairman, to refer to the program objective, which is stated on page 18. This is what it says, Mr. Chairman. To monitor the development of the regions, neighborhood democratic councils, and municipalities, etc. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to respectfully refer also to the Local Government Commission Act, an act which came into being as a result of a bill that was passed in this House almost 8 months ago, in August of last year. Mr. Chairman, that act requires for its operationalization and commencement order. I've already given it. The Honourable Minister has not issued that commencement order to bring this act into being, and my question to the Minister is, why is this not so? Because the Honourable Minister comes to this House and informs us under this program objective that the very activities that are to be conducted by the ministry, for which funding is required, are activities that are supposed to be carried out and undertaken by the very Local Government Commission.
However, members, the minister is not obliged to answer that question with the debate he wishes to, but not obliged. Minister, what is your...
Let's check it to see, sir, where it is captured on the which of these codes.
Why are you doing that? Members, Standing Order 75-2 speaks to what happens in the committee course of time. So unless a minute is proposed under the provisions of the next standing order, a debate may take place on the question that the speaker puts or the chairman puts rather. Any such debate shall be confined to the policy of the service of which the money is to be provided and shall not deal with the details of any item or subhead, but refer to the details of revenues or funds for which that service is responsible. So the debate that we know is really the question and answer about the money. Issues as to why the commencement orders have not been effected. Though valid questions must come in the plenary, and they may be put to the minister in the form of a question. But at this point in time, we are to confine ourselves to the revenue and the estimates that are before us.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I don't wish to belabor the point, but you just made the point that it's the policy I was trying to address. And the program objective states that the policy is to monitor the Local Government Commission. I have the affidavit with me, Mr. Chairman. And the activities of the Local Government Commission are identical to what is stated here that the ministry intends to pursue. But the minister is the only person who stands between the operation, the commencement of the Local Government Commission Act. Yet it comes to this House and requests money for these very activities. This is what I'm seeking to ascertain.
Minister, you may, as I said, provide an answer. You are not obliged.
No, I did, Mr. Chairman, during my budget presentation, I did comment on the question. I won't go beyond.
You repeat and you rely on the statements made in the budget presentation. Very well. I recognize Ms. Garrido and then Ms.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Line item 6302, training and police scholarships, there for $12,500,000. So the Honorable Minister said, what type of training will this be and who will access the training? The number of persons accessing the training and how often will you have training?
It's still giving a training course.
Mr. Chairman, it is anticipated that 700 plus persons working in RDCs, municipalities, and NDCs will benefit from a number of these training programs. We intend to target overseers, assistant overseers, regional chairman, regional vice chairman, and REO. We intend also to target staff of our own ministry, even NDC councillors also. And it is good to note that we have some special training program that represents a continuation of our sensitization on the local government legislation and elections. So it's quite a number, and overall, over 700 persons will benefit from the training.
Thank you very much.
I recognize Ms. Selma and then Ms. Ferguson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, notwithstanding that the budgetary provision under line item 6294 is a very small amount, could the Honorable Minister indicate what are the other operating expenses?
Yes, it is under this code that we would normally buy cars, weeks, cars, water supply,
Ms. Ferguson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I noticed on the line item 6312, subventions to local authorities. Last year, we approved the sum of 5 million. Subsequent to that, a supplementary paper for 24,200,000 came to the National Assembly in December. Cleanup campaign in Georgetown. However, I noticed for 2014, the ministry rather, they're now seeking an approval of $5 million. Am I to understand, Minister, that this money would take care of business under this line item and you wouldn't come back for a further supplemental during the course of the year?
Chairman, local authorities benefit from supplemental grants to which we referred earlier on. And they also are empowered by legislation to garner their own resources. These, under this item, this 5 million is used to assist some of them. There are some local authorities that don't garner rates. Okay? Last year, you were quite correct, the expenditures over $24 million. We used 15 million of this to assist the city council in the cleanup of the city. And we used 9 million to assist the Linden municipality also. So that was just a one-off intervention to assist Georgetown City Council and the Linden Council. But the amount is 5 million.
Honorable members, I would like to put a question, and that is that we approve the sum stated for Program 133 Regional Development Current Expenditures. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. We will proceed forward. Please turn to page 424 as I propose your consideration Program 133 Regional Development Capital Expenditures for the Ministry. Mr. William.
Mr. Chairman, follow up on what the Honorable Member Lawrence said. Item 119,0700. The Honorable Minister, you said 77 million related to subventions. My time respectfully inquire. The municipalities, the question of local community councils, what are they?
Mr. Chairman, the supporting documents that I have in front of me that accounts for $359 million speaks of subventions to municipalities and neighborhood democratic councils. Okay?
Follow up, Mr. Chairman. Might I respectfully refer the Honorable Minister to profile 54? And if you look in the legend, description of project, the project contains provision of capital subvention to municipalities and local community councils, not NDCs.
Perhaps, sir, it's a synonym for neighborhood democratic council.
But could the Honorable Minister say if these are CDCs that have been formed, that are being formed around the country by the former member of this house, Madam Shuri? Well, again, I mean, how could you come to this honorable house and ask for so much money and don't know what you're asking for?
And this is
Mr. Chairman, I thought it was clear. I thought it was clear. Project vision, $359 billion. It is for municipalities, 6 of them. It is for neighborhood democratic councils, 6 to 5. Good. Mr. Ridalo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Project code 1920600. Could the Honorable Minister say how much money is being allocated for the completion of the Mobruma Market Tarmac and also for the sanitary block at Buxton? And which compound will be rehabilitated and how much is allocated here?
Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, the Mobruma Market Tarmac, $8,393,536 to complete that. The extension of that tarmac, $11,908,478. And the completion of the resurfacing of the facade of the ministry's compound, $1,558,612. And the sanitary block at Buxton Market Tarmac, $2,139,374.
Thank you.
Ms. Lauren?
Mr. Chair, in follow-up to the Honorable Member Williams, would the Minister kindly provide a list of the allocation for the $282 billion remaining from the amount of $359 to the NDCs?
Mr. Chairman, I will make that available.
Mr. Ramzan? Oh, sorry, Mr. Nadu. Mr.
I see the intolerance on the other side when questions are asked. I was on the other side, Your Honor, as a minister of local government. I might, if I could say so, exhibited some of that intolerance, but I do recognize the reason for these questions in the interest of accountability, in the interest of clarifying what projects we are expending money on. And I now observe, as a follow-up to this Honorable Member Basil Williams, on this project titled Project Development Assistance, is that it's a new project financing allocation of $359 million. And therefore, it requires the legend that would explain what capital subvention, for what would this capital subvention be given, and the local community councils, all acceptable for the legend to read local community council, and my very good
an honorable friend, Minister Winter, is trying to hold a googly to say it means neighborhood welfare council. We can only deal, we are here, the community supply. We cannot take the people's money and give it to big and money. So I would like to have that elusively clear that the subvention is going to NDCs. And if so, name the NDC.
But our members here, the minister said a few minutes ago that the money will go to municipalities, 6 of them, and to NDC 65. The other member, Ms. Lawrence, then got up and asked that the breakdown be given for each, the allocation to each. And the minister said on Monday, so I don't know what other information is here.
Chairman, with your permission, I can give the honorable member. Robin Region 1, 20. The one thing with the courts like two more matches with our Magoon or Sumo market. These are the NDCs that will be receiving the subvention. You have in Region 2, 5 more NDCs. Good hope for Mona, Aberdeen, Durham, and
We know there are 65 NDCs. We have done the maths. It means the maths say that each NDC is getting $21 million from the balance if you take out the 77 million. And that cannot be. So you normally become the math. It's 77 million from 359 is 282 left. So if you down to 65 NDCs, you're looking at $195 million. If you're dealing with your 3 million and the other 3 million to each NDC. So in relation to that, Mr. Chairman, the next legend, which is 55, refers to NDCs. So it is clear that when they say NDC, they write it. They're speaking about local community council.
Mr. Chairman, I want to refer the honorable member, Mr. Williams, to Act 16 of 2013, fiscal transfer. So whilst we give you the amount of funds available, this is not going to be business as usual. This is not going to be like we did up to 2013, where you took $195 million and you give each NDC 5 by 3, 195.
Right.
If we are activating the fiscal transfer formula, we couldn't go down the same road. So what is happening? Goes into a pool, half of it is given to these councils, and in respect of the balance, the fiscal transfer formula is activated.
That's in your agreement.